This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Now back to the story from a few minutes ago.
You're inside the best of the Morning X.
Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy.
99X.
We get in the car and we drive to the Van Nuys Airport, which is an airport like Peachtree to Cab. It's for private and corporate planes. And we pull up to the tarmac, to this. It's a Gulfstream, like a 14-seater jet.
Special.
And I said, what's going on here? I said, well, I want to give you a little surprise. I figure we're going to take he got us on the NBC jet. Okay? So we get on the plane, and there is a guy his name is Jim Burrows, a very big TV producer. Another guy who's the executive producer of Frasier is on there, the two of them and their wives. And the six of us are sitting there, and we're waiting for one other couple to arrive. And they finally arrive.
Who was it?
Richie Sambora and Heather Locklear.
No. Oh, my God. Heather?
Oh, my God.
The number one on your fantasy
Your
list?
number one is on the plane?
One. She actually was booted off a few months ago, if you recall. However, I am officially...
when she was pregnant, you took her off.
I am officially making a change. I'll make that change in a minute, and she's going to occupy the number one spot for eternity.
Heather, you came face to face with your fantasy.
I'm sitting there
God.
on the NBC private jet, and on walks Heather Locklear and Richie Sambora.
You're living in a dream.
I'm like,
and you're sitting there going, what am I doing here?
Flying to a Stones concert. I'm like, holy gee, what life am I leading?
Were you sitting?
I'm in somebody else's body.
How
here.
near to Heather and Richie?
Well, it's a 14-seater.
I know.
Plane.
I mean, were you
Actually,
right?
I was sitting on the other side of the plane from them, and unfortunately, also, it's only a 45-minute flight, so like you're up and down. But now I have met her once before. I interviewed her 6 or 7 years ago in San Diego when I was working in San Diego.
In a hotel room, right?
Yeah, she was doing a show there, and I went to her hotel room and interviewed her in her hotel room. So towards the end of the flight, I got up and I was like kind of uncomfortable. I didn't know how to approach the two of them.
What did you say?
But I went up to Richie. It turns out he and I have kind of a mutual friend in the music business from one of the record companies, so I kind of went up and I said, hey, Richie, my name is Jimmy Barron. I work for a radio station, and I think, aren't you friends with such and such? He said, yeah, hey, cool. So we talked for a little. Cool guy.
Was he wearing the Bon Jovi clothes?
He was wearing black jeans.
Did he have his little hat on?
No, he didn't have the hat.
No leather apparel.
No, I think he had a leather jacket. And
He's
that
a
was
wealthy
about
man.
It. He's a very wealthy man. Yeah.
How did he look?
Wealthy man. He looked great. I mean, he looked cool. He was, the two of them look a little tired because they have a 7-week-old baby. Side note, I don't know if I had a 7-week-old, if I'd be taking trips to Vegas, and leaving a 7-week-old
Okay,
back
get
home.
back on
Get
track.
back to your au pair.
But beyond, 7 weeks old. Anyway, I will tell you this,
Jimmy.
Leslie. This woman had a baby 7 weeks ago. She's the size of my pen.
I know, she's tiny.
It is unbelievable how tiny. There's not an ounce of fat on her.
She probably gained 5 pounds when she had the baby.
Yeah, that's it. And then it's already gone.
So she looked gorgeous.
Incredibly gorgeous. So we get off the plane. The hotel had sent cars for us because, when Heather and Richie are coming, they send you a car.
Where'd they stay?
They stayed at Caesars. So when we were waiting on the tarmac, I went up to her. And I said, hi, Heather, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jimmy Barron. And she looked at me, swear to God, she said, you look familiar.
Heather tells all the guys that.
From 6 years ago?
I said, well, we've only met once before. And I told her the story. She said, that's right, I remember. We were in San Diego. She recalled the whole story. 6 years ago, she remembered me from an interview. I mean, that was unbelievable.
At what point did the wood hit her then?
Huh?
Nothing.
Did the wood hit her then?
Yeah,
well,
never mind.
All right, so anyway, so that night we go to dinner. The six of us, we get we went to Spago. There were about 6. Actually, at this point, there were 10 of us sitting in this big
ate
table.
Spago.
Huh? We were there.
When were you there?
We were there in.
No, I mean I just ate there this weekend.
we were there Saturday night.
Oh wow, I was there at lunch.
It's for Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had gotten this. We got there Saturday
Angel
night.
hair pasta with shrimp. That's very good.
I'll tell you what, it was one of the best pastas I ever had.
Yep.
Was
Get
at that
back to the
restaurant.
story. Jeez.
So, we're all going to go to the show. We all had different seats in different places, but we're going to all meet for dinner first. Get to the restaurant. We're all sitting down. We are sitting. You would think they'd sit us like at some table in a private room or something. No, they give us the table smack dab in the middle of the whole restaurant. Busy Saturday night. I make sure that at the table of 8 that I am the one sitting directly next to Richie and Heather.
Of course you are.
I totally make
Yeah,
sure.
were you
Next to
sitting-
Richie or next to Heather?
Yeah. Were you sitting next to Richie?
I sat next to Richie, and then Heather was there. One of the other couples that was there was this girl, Amy Peets, who was on Caroline in the City. She plays Caroline's good friend. She's really very cool woman, too. And she was there with her husband. So I'm sitting next, it's me and then Richie and then Heather. Richie and I are talking to each other the entire time. And he's telling me about he's got a new record coming out. He wants to come down to Atlanta and be on our show. He
Only if
starts
you bring
asking me
Heather.
about, he's asking me about, the radio business. And he's like,
He's working
telling me,
you, man.
he's working me. And Heather's also there, and the three of us are talking. And
You're
you
having
think
an out-of-body experience.
I'm having an out-of-body experience, and everybody in the restaurant, of course, is like, heads are turned towards our table because Heather Locklear is sitting right there. I am totally having this out-of-body experience, and here was what's really weird. At one point, they got up to go to the bathroom, and the waitress
That is
came.
weird.
And the waitress comes and gives and puts their salads down while they're in the bathroom. They came back, and I don't know how it got there. Nobody saw how it got there, but somehow some little slip of paper with some chick's name and phone number had been left in Richie's salad.
In the salad?
In the salad, right on top of the...
Oh, that's nice.
It's like some woman managed... and I thought to myself, man, this is the kind of life this guy leads. Everywhere he goes, there must be, women throwing...
Well, her too. She gets... I think she's had stalking problems in the past.
Yeah, you're right. We have read about that.
So
and he was kind of embarrassed about it, and she was very amused by it, and, we were like joking about it.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Expert entrepreneur Ed Milet is on a mission to max out your life.
We're throwing open the metaphorical closet doors of our lives. We're going to be cleaning out the closet. What no longer fits? Audit some of your relationships. How about auditing your emotions? Maybe it's your career you need to look at. Get your life together for this season.
The Ed Milet Show.
It's time for a little cleaning of the soul. Let's get a little ruthless, a little refreshing, and a little real. God bless you, everyone.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
did she talk about Melrose at all?
She talked a little bit about, now that she's got the baby, about how they've worked it around her schedule, how they get no sleep and all this. She didn't talk that much about Melrose Place, but she talked about, like how now being a mom, it's like this totally different mindset that they're in. They're all of a sudden they feel like old people.
How could you look at her and not think about Tommy Lee's drumstick?
Well, let me tell you about... yeah, well, that did cross my mind a few times because Tommy Lee, of course, was her ex-husband. So dinner's over. We're going over to the MGM, and we're going to get in a couple of cabs. But there were a bunch of us, so we had to, pile into a cab. So Richie takes the front seat.
Oh.
I get in. Brooks gets in. One of the other guys get in, and it's really cramped. And
my God.
No
Heather
way.
gets in, and Heather has no place to sit. So she said, "Is it a very long trip?" I said, "No." She says, "Could I just sit on your lap?"
No! No way! No way!
I'm riding to a Rolling
No
Stones concert
freaking way.
in a cab with Heather Locklear.
Your life
sitting
is
on my
over.
lap.
You might as well just end it right now.
Tell me,
my God.
did Did you?
I thought about baseball scores the entire time.
Did
I thought
you
about
move?
baseball stats.
Did you even move? Give me the angle.
Oh, my God. She's sitting on my lap.
Now, she's sitting
Was your friend freaking out?
crossways, or was she sitting, like, on your leg?
Yeah, like
she was sitting like
Was she
part
sitting
of her was on.
across, or was she,
Barnes
facing
needs
forward?
details.
I need to know what's going on.
She wasn't straddling me facing
No.
forward.
was
She was like facing forward.
No, he
straddling.
wants to know if she was sitting
like,
sideways.
sideways, or was she sitting, like, on your knee?
She was sitting like on
And
my.
what was she wearing, sir?
She had on a very low cut blouse, very low cut. Okay, I mean
And?
I could see everything I needed to see.
And we
And
know
she
you
was
looked.
wearing black leotards.
And you looked.
Well, it's hard not to.
See
She's sitting on
Nitro?
my lap.
How much did you see?
Of her, well, she's, excuse me, she's well blessed.
So how
You know?
long was the cab ride?
It seemed like it was only
Not
about
long
10
enough.
seconds. It seemed like it was like
Was the cab driver like going fast and then slow down? And
cab ride was like
God.
5 minutes. 5 minutes, but I'll tell you, I mean, I was praying for us to break down. I was praying for traffic.
Praying for, like, when they take
anything.
a hard curve.
How about Richie sitting in the front seat? Why didn't she sit in his
He
lap?
was giving
I
him
don't
a
know.
thrill.
I don't know.
Richie
I don't know.
was
It was
giving
just
Jimmy a
he
cheap
didn't-
thrill.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
got her. He's they're married.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just didn't think about it.
And
he didn't know that Jimmy has wood for his wife.
She's also very she's one of these people, by the way, who is very touchy. Whenever Heather Locklear talks to you, she touches you.
So that
Like,
even played
she was
even
always
more into
touching me, which was, on the one hand, making me uncomfortable because like her husband was right there. On the other hand, made me very comfortable.
So did
Okay?
you tell her that
So-
that she was on your top 5 list?
I didn't talk about top 5.
Okay, so you
I
were-
thought that
I
would
would've
be
told
just
her.
too.
You didn't want to look like
I'd
an
be glad I
obsessed
didn't see
fan.
you.
And I also felt very weird about asking for a picture.
Oh,
I know.
Jimmy.
I did. I couldn't help it. I felt very weird about that. So that was my Heather Locklear
That's
experience
unbelievable.
for the weekend. And they will be on our show within the next few weeks or so.
Jamie.
We will hear, if not both of them at the same time, one or either of them.
Reeled it in.
The best of the Morning X on 99X.
Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy.
The original 99X.
I am Michael Rosenbaum.
I am Tom Welling,
Welcome to Talkville.
where it's fun to talk about Smallville.
We're going to be talking to sometimes guest stars. Are you liking the direction Lois is going in?
Yeah, because I'm getting more screen time.
It's good. But mostly it's just me and Tom remembering.
I think we all feel like there was a scene missing here.
You got me, Tom.
Let's revisit it. Let's look at it. See what we remember.
see what we remember.
I had never been around anything like that before. I mean, it was so fun.
Talkville.
I just had a flashback.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Let's get into it.